to one other spot, and we'll dive right in. Welcome, everybody. My name is Rachel Garcia, and you're watching this because somebody invited you to take a look at something that radically changed my life when I took a look at it back in 2015. So I practiced medicine for 20 years as a physician assistant. I actually graduated from the University of Florida, and where I met my husband, and then we went down to Miami for me to go to graduate school, and I graduated from PA school in Miami, actually in 2001. So I practiced medicine for 20 years and found what I'm about to share with you in 2008, 7 years into practicing. And at the time in 2008, I had a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old. And I was so overwhelmed with life. My husband and I had been married for 10 years at that point. My children were very small. I'd hired a nanny to essentially raise them while I worked hard to make money. And I was just desperately looking for a way to create additional streams of income so that I could work a little less and spend more time with my kids. They called my nanny mom, and that was just killing me. And so it's hard after you go to school for 8.5 years and spend $100,000 on your education to say, okay, you're not gonna go do something else. That's kind of crazy. But I was also maxed out on how much money I could make as a PA at $250,000 a year. So I was working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but had no way of making more money. My husband was in the construction world. He graduated with a building construction degree from the University of Florida, but he'd always worked for someone else. And so I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad and just decided we were going to take a risk, babe, and we're going to start some businesses. And so I opened a skincare retail store in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. I invested $50,000 in a brick and mortar location and hired employees and filled it with products, expensive skincare products to sell to my patients, essentially. And my husband started his own construction company, another $50,000. And my brothers asked me, will you take a look at this other business? And if I'm being really honest, I was businessed out because adding those two things, because we're still working full-time jobs, adding those two businesses on just caused more havoc in our lives. So I literally had no time. And I wasn't interested in any more businesses. But God's funny. My sister, her son had just been diagnosed with severe autism. And I was reeling with that diagnosis and knowing that this little sweet 3-year-old would never speak. And I have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences. So I start reading books. And probably one of the first big ones that I read was this book called The China Study. Really trying to figure out, why did he have it? What is it from? And this book led me to understand that what you eat really, really matters. This is the largest human population study ever done to figure out why some people get sick and others don't. And it came down to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this was eye-opening for me. I did not learn this in medical school. I learned about writing prescriptions in medical school. So I went on this journey of trying to get good nutrition in my family with the juicing and the organic garden and going to the health food store. And this is even more overwhelming. And so when my brothers asked me to take a look at this business, I heard this message that lined up with everything I read in this book. Cleanse your body of toxins, pour plant-based nutrition in so that your alkalinity, your pH will be balanced and your body will operate and thrive the way that it's meant to thrive. Because if you're eating more meat, dairy, sugar, soda, coffee, and bread than you are plants, your body's going to live in this disease inflammatory state. And you might be able to handle it your 20s and 30s, kind of like when you buy a brand new car. If you don't get the oil changed in the first 10,000 miles, it'll make it. It'll make it to 50,000 miles. But what are you doing to it along the way? And are you damaging how long that car will actually last? Will it make it 200,000 miles? No, the lights are going off. It's telling you you need to take it in. And so many of us in America are just going through life stressed out, no time to sleep, homework, summer activities, all the things that we have with kids and with our lives. And we're grabbing fast food and just trying to do everything right. But I'm going to show you a way tonight to get more nutrition in your body in 60 seconds in the morning than your whole neighborhood gets in a week. That you will be able to see palpable, noticeable, measurable results with. It's why myself and a number of my colleagues who are also PAs, nurse practitioners, and physicians are now recommending this quick regimen to their patients. Now, not everybody is attracted to the health aspect of what I'm going to share with you. That is what drew me in. Within a week of getting started, my sleep issues that I had were gone. My son's constipation issues, gone. 6 weeks in, my husband's extreme depression and anger issues gone. Marriage saving. If you've ever lived with someone who struggles with anger issues or depression issues, the answer, by the way, it's not that there's a lack of Prozac in their body. That's not the problem. They're usually toxic and lacking in nutrition. So 6 weeks in, when those crazy ups and downs in our household were calm, everything was calm, I recognized that some radical changes had occurred. We started to change from the way we looked on the outside. I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. I went from being literally obese, overweight. No matter how much I worked out, I couldn't get the weight off. I was toxic. I was lacking in nutrition. I was trying to do all the right things, and I was stressed. Stress and causes your cortisol levels to go up, which in turn causes you to hold on to weight. I lost 32 pounds in 3 months. My husband lost about the same amount of weight. My nephew went from being totally nonverbal, screaming all day long at the age of 3, to speaking in full sentences 3 months after starting on this regimen, which caused me as a PA, as a healthcare provider, to understand this is more than weight loss. This is more than pooping. It's more than sleeping. This is deep down inside. And I have got to get the information out to others. And so I went about trying to make sure that everybody in my life knows you don't have to be sick. There is a better way than what if you're walking around with prescription medications. The average 50-year-old in America is on 5 prescription medications. Doesn't have to be that way. I believe medications are good in some instances, but we are over medicated in this country, and we need to do better at preventing. So I'm going to show you how to take care of your body, your spouse's body, your parents' bodies, your dogs and cats' bodies, your kids' bodies. Okay, and maybe this is for you and maybe it's not, but I will also add on. America struggles with 2 things: our bodies, our physical health, and then our financial health. I did not see this as a business when we got started because the startup was so cheap. I literally was just buying products that I was already buying from the health food store. So I just, instead of buying there, I bought these instead. Saw radical changes. But by buying those products, I started a business, which was not my intent when I got started. I already had businesses. And then the checks started to come. And then the owner starts calling me. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? This is what's happening down there in Florida. And that was 15 years ago. So I've been building in this company now for 16 years. And Phil Knight, the founder of the largest shoe company in the world, it's got a big swoosh symbol on it, is one of our investors. And it's not a company that started because a bunch of men got together and said, ooh, these companies, health and wellness is the future. They make a lot of money. Let's hire some scientists and get them in a lab and have them create some vitamin C and D and E because that's really hot right now. No, this started in a clinical practice. This cleanse, balance, build philosophy that's literally straight from this book was utilized in a clinical practice with patients for 30 years. The results were so good, there was a 3-year waiting list for people to get into the clinic. And they said, people should not have to wait this long to see a practitioner to get healthy. We need to start a company, but we're just going to do word of mouth. And that's how they chose to spread it. So I'm going to walk you through some basics of the business, weaving my story in here over the next few minutes. You'll know very quickly whether you're interested or not. Whoever shared it with you likely has had some sort of radical change happen in their body, in their life, and their family that they want to talk to people about it. They want to make sure that people in their life know about it, which is exactly like me. I wanted to make sure that people knew about it. So this was me. This was me, healthy Rachel, buying all the supplements, going to the health food store. You'd ask me if I had any health problems. I'm like, oh no, I'm reading this book. I'm doing great. I was not doing great. I mean, have you ever walked into the health food store and had the 18-year-old behind the counter walk up to you trying to sell you vitamin C? Or maybe you have an allergy issue and you're like Googling what's the best thing for my allergies. You know that the first 10 things, 20 things that pop up, they've just paid some marketing company, a digital marketing company, to get their stuff to pop up to the top. Word of mouth works best. So this was me 3 months after I started on the regimen, and my patients were like, what are you doing? My husband also radical transformation. I already told you about the mental change. And then my nephew just graduated from the same high school I graduated from last year. Radical changes in our family. My boys are now 16 and 19. They were 9 months old and 3 years old when we started. And they both will, if you stop them anywhere at the gym. My oldest son goes to Clemson. He's taking marketing classes. He took a entrepreneurship class last year and did a project on me because they said, find someone you want to emulate and you want to have a business like in the future. So he chose me and got like with the goal to explain to them the power of this profession. And he made an A on the project. So find any of us anywhere, and we will happily share with you how this business has changed our lives financially with the time freedom. I was able to walk away from practicing medicine in 2019, but I went part-time in 2010. 2 years after I started here, I dropped from full-time 12-hour days to part-time. And because of that, my boys had me in their life from the time they were 5 and 3 all the way up till now because of me watching a presentation like this and saying, I'm it. I recognized truth in the cleanse, balance, build philosophy. I didn't know about telling anybody about it, but I said, I'm in. What is it? It's a company that started in 2008 because they recognized the need for what we have here, the health aspect of what we have. Some people are attracted to the health aspect. Listen, there's some people, you guys, who need money right now. Grocery levels, you guys have all seen the memes and the stuff that have come out in the last couple of weeks. Groceries are 3 to 4 times as expensive now as they were 3 years ago. People are struggling financially. And so sometimes there's people who look at this and depending on who brings it to them, they're like, I would sell dog food if I could make an extra $100 a week. What is it? How do I do it? Okay. This is not dog food. This is not candles. This is something that radically changes people's health. And it gave me the time freedom that I was looking for much less money and much less time than the skincare retail store and the construction company demanded. We are different from other companies out there because we are for everybody. We're not just for the runners. We're not just for the women who want to put expensive skincare on their face. We're not just for the pet owners. We're for everybody who has a body at some point recognizes what I put in this thing matters. And what's in your genetic pipeline, guys? Are your parents still alive? Like, say it out loud. I can't hear you. But what are they struggling with? Is it dementia? Is it Alzheimer's? Is it heart disease? Is it diabetes? Is it eye problems? Are they losing their eyesight? It's coming down the genetic pipeline towards you. And the sooner you figure that out, you will likely begin looking for answers to prevent. You have found it. People ask me all the time, what makes us different? The science. The science we have here. I was in the office, the corporate office in Texas last week, and I should put the video into my presentation. I might have already, actually. There are thousands and thousands of clinical studies backing up what we have in our products. We have a consumable product, so when people consume it, they repurchase over and over and over again. I have friends who do very well financially selling things like makeup and jewelry and clothing to their friends. But listen, they have to constantly be selling. How many pairs of leggings, how many jeans, how many bracelets are you going to buy? How often do you need to buy makeup? This is something that's consumed. And within 28 days, there's a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Within 28 days, there are palpable, measurable, noticeable results that cause people to repeat purchase. And that's where we're really different. I don't have to call you after you've started and say, hey, you're running out. Do you need some more? No, you call me. That's what happens after 15 years. People call me and say, I'm freaking out. I'm running out. I notice the difference in my pooping and my sleeping and my mood. I've noticed I've lost a few pounds. My pain in my hands is less. Like I need this. I'm running out. I'm freaking out. So 100 people start on our 30-day servicing. And I talk about a 30-day servicing because I want you to think about taking your car in for that servicing, right? Every 10,000 miles to get all the old junk out and put new stuff in. See, going to the doctor for a stomach pain or some wrist pain, for them to do some scans and some lab work and write you some prescriptions, Band-Aids, is not a servicing. A servicing is cleansing all the toxins out of the 7 eliminatory channels that God put in your body to get rid of toxins. But now we're consuming toxins our grandparents were never exposed to, which is why whatever's in your genetic pipeline is going to hit you faster than it hit them if you don't do something about it. We are a now 17-year-old company. We are totally debt-free. The owner of our company started just like I did in a company like this. He loves helping people create financial freedom. I love teaching. I love helping other people that were like me when I was in that picture with the stroller in my early 30s and struggling and really like crying out for help, but no time to hear the answers. I love helping people like that who are looking for answers for their finances and for their health because they don't want to be sick. They don't want their kids to be sick. And they also don't want to miss out on all the important things in life. When my son did that project at Clemson for his entrepreneurship program, he said, "Mom, what if somebody says to me, is this business legitimate?" I said, actually just saw Tony Robbins talking about it yesterday. You go find these two self made billionaires with a B on record talking about the brilliance of this business model. Again, he got an A. I started the whole multiple businesses thing in 2008 because of this man, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Listen, you might just be very happy being an employee, trading your hours, meaning you go to work, you give them your time, you get some money back. Okay, I did that. I did that as a PA. I was trading my hours for dollars. At some point, you hit a cap, and you might be fine with that as an employee, but I wasn't. I knew I was meant for more. I knew I was meant to do more. And I was watching the medical world change. Instead of seeing 4 patients in an hour, I was seeing 4 patients in 10 minutes with 3 nurses following me around. I was writing 200 prescriptions a day. I was watching the medical world change. And what I went to school to do, which was help people, was changing. I found a way to radically help people. What's hard to do is to find a good company. Again, not something that started overnight because they're looking for what's the next big thing that people are going to buy, but something that's rooted in truth, in science. And they chose to start it by spreading the news via word of mouth. Documentation that I saw in the office last week, every single one of our products, they have these massive folders with just study after study after study after study on the product, on the ingredients in the product. And this is because the FDA comes in and says, we want to see your science. We've been here for 17 years for a reason. Did you know that 98% of companies are gone within the first 5 years? We're not going anywhere. We are radically changing. Invited, you can add you to a page where you can see loads of testimonies. It works so well because I believe the majority of the health issues that the American race faces, the human race faces, I should say, is the result of these 3 things. And I mean, you name diabetes, pancreatitis, insomnia, eczema, anxiety, depression. What is it? What's plaguing you and your family? It's the result of these things. We're toxic. We're drinking out of plastic water bottles. Our pans have been sprayed with plastic Teflon that's been proven to cause cancer. Where our food is being sprayed by guys that are wearing hazmat suits. And the cancer rates are skyrocketing. We're out of balance. We don't eat enough. We don't sleep enough. I shouldn't say we don't eat enough. We eat too much. We're not moving enough. We're not sleeping enough. We are extremely acidic. This book called Chris Beat Cancer, all about living in the acidic area of life. I have a friend of mine knows somebody closely who was just diagnosed with cancer for the second time. And I was like, get them this book because it teaches about if you don't, cancer thrives in an acidic environment. It's been proven that if your cells are alkalinized and oxygenated, cancer cannot live there. This has been proven. Okay. The whole back half of this book is studies saying, proving the plant-based importance. Okay. I'm not saying we're going to cure your cancer. I'm not saying we're going to cure any of your diseases. I'm just saying you better get educated. Stop eating all of the drinking the soda and the meat and the dairy and the sugar and causing your body to go into this inflammatory state where disease and infection thrive. You got to get balanced. And we've got to pour plant-based nutrition into your body. We are lacking in nutrition. The Journal of Nutrition says more than 50% of our kids aren't getting the essential vitamins and minerals they need. We're trying to supplement. The more educated you are, the larger your cabinet is. We don't travel with it. You can't tell when you take it. If you can't tell when you take your supplements, you need to switch. If you're taking supplements and you're still having to take prescription medications, you need to take a serious look at what I'm sharing with you today. And for those of you that are watching that are super healthy, listen, I have a friend. She's a massive fitness competitor. She came really close to just winning the cover of Muscle and Fitness Women's Magazine. She is a brand partner as well. And there were people very close to her in her life. She eats very healthy. She doesn't need all this extra nutrition, but she knows because she's radically changed her life. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat. Our soils are so depleted in nutrition that 14 years ago, they came out with studies showing you need 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat to get the same nutrition our grandparents got from one of each of those things in 1960. So basically, we're starved. Nobody's eating 80 cups of spinach. We're starving. And so we're shoving things into our mouth. Are you sick of the food noise? Get ready. We're going to put more nutrition in your body in 60 seconds in the morning than you usually get in a week. And the food noise is going to shut up because you're no longer going to be starving. We're going to cleanse the 7 channels that you eliminate through your lungs, your liver, your skin, your lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, and intestines. We're going to cleanse them out. We're going to pour this plant-based nutrition in that balances out your pH. We have doctors all around the country who recommend these products to their patients. They're on our wellness advisory panel. Many of our products are in the conference. And again, the documentation, if you live anywhere near Dallas, Texas, get into their office and you can look at this documentation on our sports line, proving that they've done the research. We are different from other companies. Why? Because we have the scientific backing. We've been around for 17 years. Companies that have crappy products don't make it past 5 years. We have results. And if you don't get the results, they give you your money back. I'm going to change the slide and make it say 30-day servicing. The company, it's the 30-day servicing. You take these 7 products every day for 7 days. We can send you to another video. We can send you to the nutrition facts on our omegas and our vitamin and our plant-based calcium that has no cow's milk in it, perfectly combined with magnesium, on our sulfur that's been proven in clinical studies to decrease inflammation. We can send you all the facts, all the nutrition facts, but I'm going to tell you the things that happen when you consume them every day for 30 days. If you're over 40, you're lacking in nutrition and you're toxic. If you're on prescription medications, you need to go on the Core Complete. If you're over 40, you need to go on the Core Complete. It incorporates that 30-day servicing plus these superfruits that have been used around the world for thousands, I'm going to say that again, thousands of years, and for the last 4 decades studied in the United States of America, and the studies will blow your mind. It's not hard to Google Noni and clinical studies. You'll sit there reading, and if the C word is in your family's history, make sure you add the Core Complete to your first 30 days. These are the 6 things that most people feel after 30 days on this regimen. Better sleep. I totally, within days, my horrible insomnia, mind racing was gone. More energy, less pain. Do you walk around in pain? Is it getting worse each year that you live? Are you having to pop pills that are affecting your kidney and your liver because they're not good for you? Less pain, better bowel habits, whether you go too much or you go too little. I was just in Lutz, Florida this past week, and I heard a woman say, I have had serious bowel issues my entire adult life, and for the last 2 weeks I've been taking these products and everything is smoothing and evening out. I hear that regularly. Better mood. Listen, those of you that are grouchy people, you're grouchy. You might not know you're grouchy. Everyone around you knows they're grouchy. They don't really like being around you. Be nice if everybody wanted to be around you because the grouchiness was gone. Noticeable change in 30 days. And weight loss. I only lost 3 pounds my first month. That massive amount of weight came off the second and third month. My nephew didn't start speaking till the 3rd month. So do you have to do this every month? No. What I recommend is this 30-day servicing, which is $289. It's less than $10 a day to service your body, which is your one irreplaceable asset that you do not get another one of. Now, can you live in pain? Can you live not pooping for 7 days? Can you live with daily migraines? Can you live with skin rashes from the toxins in your body that are not getting out? Absolutely. Do you want to just get by in life, or do you want to be 65 years old and thriving at the gym? I'm showing you how to thrive. People look at this and go, oh, it seems like a lot. I don't know that I can do all that. Doing this since they were toddlers. I would line up the superfruit shots. I would line up the liquid vitamin. I would line up the greens. I would line up the Goyen, which is our #1 selling product, proven to help give joyfulness and calm depression down. We do superfruit shots in this house, or we do smoothies. This is my son 2 years ago educating. I could do a whole video on that. This is my 60-second smoothie I make every single morning that you should make as well. Simple, easy way to get nutrition in your body, and it's all food, science-backed. Studies have been there a long time. If you're into the gym, myself, my husband, my boys, and massive amounts of people that I work with are in the gym, bodybuilding. You don't want to be pouring more acid in than you are plants. I'm just going to say that. Your kidneys, it matters. Your liver, it matters what you're putting in. Our products have been approved by the Informed Sports certification, the sports science specifically, to be safe for your body. purelifechangers.com is a wealth of information. I encourage you to go there. I'm talking largely about the 30-day servicing, but let me just tell you, I just did a 30-minute long presentation on an influencer's page this afternoon, all about the skincare. The skincare could run the company all by itself. It's straight from Korea. It's $188 for a 4-month supply of products that over 70% of people see results in 2 weeks. I have never sold a skincare products that people see results in 2 weeks. If you're looking for skincare, we've got that. We've got a sports line that beats everything out there. We've got a 6-week metabolic reset program for somebody who's specifically looking to lose weight. We have a program for kids. We have a coffee that has cordyceps in it, which gives you focus and is alkalinizing. I could go on and on. Who invited you to add you to our testimony page where our customers post their results. If you struggle with migraines, if you struggle with depression, if you struggle with ADHD, use the search box, the magnifying glass, type in your issue and look at all of the testimonies that have been posted. Don't take my word for it. Look at what these people have been posting. They've been using these products. So this is the future, okay? Everyone is starting to figure out what I put into my body matters, and they're looking for answers. Who are they going to get answers from? Well, I will tell you, the medical world has not been trained in medicine. Why? Why weren't we trained in medicine? Read this book, The Truth About Cancer. It talks about why all the natural, herbal, plant-based regimens were taken out of the medical schools decades ago and replaced with pharmaceuticals. Read it. Your eyes will be opened. And then you'll go looking, like I did in 2008, looking for health answers. And there's just so much noise. There's probiotics from here, collagen from here, omegas from here. Oh my gosh, a cleanse from over here. We have it all in one location, the best of the best, with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're looking, don't look any further. You found it. So you can start as a customer. Guys, we love our customers. LivePure.com. Go to LivePure.com. Throw what you want into the cart. The Core Plus is where a lot of people start. $289, less than $10 a day. Service your body for 30 days. I started with the family package because I didn't want to just service my body. I wanted my husband, who was like Incredible Hulk 1 minute and crying in the garage the next minute. My husband. I wanted my kids. I wanted my nephew. I wanted everybody on the products. I wanted the immune boosting line. I wanted the skin defense I could spray on my hand in the silver that's great for burns and eye infections and ear infections. I wanted all of it. So I started with the family package, okay? Start where you want. LivePure.com, throw what you want into the pack. When you go to checkout, it's going to say, do you want to be a preferred customer? Yes. Give them your email address. There's no membership fee. There's no requirement to ever purchase again. Most people who start with the Core Plus, over 90% of people who start with the Core Plus repurchase 2 to 3 items going forward. The more educated you are, the more likely it is you're currently taking a multivitamin or an omega-3 or a probiotic. You are likely going to replace what you're taking with what we have here. And you're going to have noticeable results, which is why you will replace it. So there's benefits to repeat ordering. Is there a requirement for that? No. You're essentially getting into their membership club by giving them your email address, okay? Then we've got the brand partner option, $49. If you're sitting here going, $289 to service my body, I totally need to do it. It's too much, I can't afford it. Please, friend, if this is not it, find something that you can do that will create an income stream for you so you can have freedom. My teaching program is 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day. You can do it on your drive into work 5 days a week to create $1,000 a month locked in 90 days. If you're looking for an additional income stream, this could be it. $1,000 a month was not going to rock my world. Okay, I'm more like $1,000 a day person. I'm more like $1,000 an hour person. You can make whatever you want to make here. For the last 10 years, I've been working on systems so that when I tell someone and they tell someone and they tell someone and they tell someone, I don't need to be on the phone with the 7th person down. We plug you into videos. We plug you into the training system that's all online, all on an app. You can do it all on your app, and you can do it 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. If you're someone who wants to make more than $1,000 to $2,000 a month, you're going to want to really plug into our team building section. You're going to want to really look at the VIP program, okay? But you can also just create a customer base. Think of yourself like a vending machine with like videos that play on the front of the machine, videos about our Core Plus and videos with testimonies, and then your friends can pick what they want and you get paid. The company's like, thank you so much for sharing our message. We're going to pay you. All right. But if you're thinking you want more than $1,000 to $2,000 a month, if you like the idea of empowering and teaching others how to create time freedom, you're going to want to focus in on our VIP packages. You're going to want to focus in on really building the teams. It's not just me who has results. You guys, there's people that I know who toot their own horn about how much they've made and how many trips they've gone on and what they've done. And I did all that my first 5 years in this business. And then I was like, you know what? I went to school to help people. I want to help people. I don't want to just be an influencer who sells lots of products online. I don't want to just be a salesperson who creates my own income. I want to help other people create income. This couple got started with us earlier this year and they made $40,000 their first 6 months. They live out in Ohio. They have multiple kids, multiple businesses. This couple got started and Kristen had just walked away from a corporate America job. Skip had done work with Phil Knight years before. He was the 74th Nike dealer when Phil Knight first went looking to try to get people who would distribute the Nike shoes in their stores. Skip had a sports retail store and he said, okay, I'll do that. It made him very wealthy. So when Skip saw that Phil was involved in this, he said, I'm in. That couple went on to make $75,000 their first 5 months in the business. One of the first people that Kristen shared this with, she literally sat down and called people and said, you've got to take a look at this. I don't know if it's for you or not, but you've got to look. Cozy had just lost her husband to pancreatic cancer. She was trying to raise their 4 kids by herself as a Pilates instructor. And she watched it and said, I'm in. She came in with our VIP package. And then she sat down and made a list and started calling people and earned $32,000 her first 12 weeks in the business. This couple sat down on a Sunday, called 50 people, asked them to take a look at a presentation like this. 6 months later, they'd made $102,000. This couple was in $30,000 of debt, sat down, watched a presentation, called people, invited them to take a look. 6 months later, they'd made $67,000. Took half of it, paid off the debt. The other half, they started investing in real estate. They now have 12 passive income rental properties. I watched them build this rental real estate property portfolio, and then I jumped in on the real estate game because this business gives you the financial fuel to invest in other things. You might be like, I want to invest in the stock market. I want to open a doggy daycare. I want to do this. I want to do that, but I don't have the money to do it. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, guys. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. If you have 20 customers ordering 3 products a month, you can make $1,000 a month. If you build teams, you can have teams all over the world. Korea, Thailand, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and we teach you how to do it. You're just building 2 teams. I love this slide because I want to address the elephant in the room. Oh, looks like a bear. And I say, what do you mean by that? Yeah, we're the person at the top makes all that money. Rachel, the one presenting, she's making all the money. Like your job? Like your job where you go trade your hours for dollars? Where there's a boss, like my job, where the doctor made the most, then the CFO, then the other doctors, then the PAs, then the nurses, then the secretaries, and the secretaries can never make as much as the boss? You mean like that? It's the opposite of that, guys. I make more than the person who told me about Pure, and the person who told them, and the person who told them, and the person who told them. The difference is I kept sharing. I had this emotional response. It's one of the other things that makes us different from other companies. People don't get emotional and cry about jewelry. People don't get emotional and cry about clothing. They get emotional when their kids don't speak and then start speaking. They get emotional when their kids are getting F's in math and all of a sudden they're getting A's. They get emotional when their husband was an angry Hulk and now is calm. They get emotional and they're like, I have to tell people. That's why I'm different. I refused to stop sharing. What I want you to see is you're building 2 teams. Whoever invited you is building 2 teams. And the people that they invite tomorrow, if you join today, they're going to go on your team because they only have 2 places to put people. So you could get an email tomorrow that says, well, congratulations, Samantha joined your team. In fact, when Kristen, I showed you her picture a minute ago, started getting emails, congratulations, so-and-so has joined your team, so-and-so has joined your team. She called the person who shared the video with her and said, I think there's a mistake. I haven't done anything. If you join your partner today and they keep sharing, the people that they share it with, 50% of them are going to go on your team. And they might not share it with anybody, but if they do, you're having a team built for you. You're only building 2 teams. You don't need to enroll 20. You don't need to enroll 50. Do you know 2 people who might watch this video and say, I'm interested in plugging in and spending 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week? Or they can spend 8 hours a day. And there is unlimited earning potential. It's $49 to get started as a brand partner. It's free if you start with one of our business packs. Shipping is free if you start with a business pack. The monthly overhead is about $130 a month. That's 3 products a month. If you can't afford it and your Aunt Betty buys 3 products from you as a customer, this is covered by Aunt Betty's orders. And then you go place your first order. You can start wherever you want. You can come in with the Core Plus and pay the $49 in shipping, and you're in as a brand partner. You get a website. You get into our training. You're good to go. But if you're thinking, I want to do more than that, I want to make more than 1,000 to 2,000 a month. Look seriously at our VIP package. Our VIP wellness package, the most you can spend is $2,500. It gives you additional bonuses from the company through the end of the year. It puts you into my VIP program where you get it under my mentorship, where our 6 and 7 figure earners are training you, or we have weekly Q&A calls. We have leadership retreats that only the VIPs have access to. We have a training that's going on in November that only the VIPs have access to. Okay, so if you have been looking, you already know. If you've been looking, this is probably that thing for you. Okay, it's the cheapest business you'll ever start is $2,500, and you eat your investment. Unlike what I did with the construction company and the skincare store. The cheapest business you'll ever start. This is what made me think it wasn't a real business. My CPA was the one who was like, I think this business is going to give you more time freedom than those other two things you did. He was right. LivePure.com, guys. Go throw into the shopping cart what you want. I love the wellness package. It's got a combination of our coffee, our skincare, all of our new products, but then enough for your whole family as well. If you love to travel, I love to travel, guys, but I never had the time, and I definitely wasn't spending the money on my husband and I to go to Hawaii and Paris and Italy. And again, we went to all these places because we earned these trips from the company. And then I was like, I want to help others. This is over 40 people as I got really into the team building things. And I help team members build their teams, and I help them help people create this group of people who are changing thousands of lives. This is over 40 that earned a trip to the Amalfi Coast of Italy 2 years ago. This is over 50 that earned the trip to Greece last year. George Clooney was there the week before. They take us to 5-star luxury resorts. There's a group of our team sitting there. And then going to Switzerland here in this September is a whole group of people that have earned this trip. The next trip is to either the Maldives or Bali. They haven't decided which one yet. But if you like to travel, we have a whole program we've just started where we're teaching you exactly what to do weekly to have these 2 trips locked in. How would your spouse feel about you taking them on a trip to the Maldives or Bali in 2025? If you don't change, nothing changes. I encourage you to get started today. Get back to the person who invited you. Let them know your interest level. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. It's not for you. It's not for you. I pray people in and out of this business every day. You might have been prayed onto this call, and you might know already it's not for you. That's totally fine. I'm going to end the recording, and I'm going to stay on and answer any questions because I see that there's some coming on. But no matter what, guys, get back to the person who invited you. Let them know your interest level, or you can go ahead and go to livepure.com and get started today. Thanks so much for joining. God bless. Goodbye. Okay, I do see questions coming in. There's one already. I have a 3-year-old who was born prematurely at 22 and a half weeks of pregnancy. Oh, and is a G-tube child and recently diagnosed with autism and AR-FID. I'm wondering if I can supplement him with it through his G-tube. Yes, you need to talk to your doctor. You will always hear me say talk to your doctor, but absolutely, if they're 3 years old, talk to the doctor about the daily bill, talk to the doctor about the fusion, talk to the doctor about the calcium. My kids have been using all these things since they were 2 and 3 years old. The Mila is the only one that I worry about with the G-tube, but we have some tremendous testimonies of children that are fed through G-tubes, getting the shakes in, getting all of these different things that I'm talking about. And so absolutely talk to your doctor about it. I will always say that. I will never say go cold turkey off of your medication. What I usually say is, let's say you're on blood pressure medications. Let's say you're on insulin for type 2 diabetes. I say start the core complete. Take your blood pressure morning and night, check your sugar levels regularly, do it for 30 days, walk in and say, doctor, PA, nurse practitioner, I've been on this nutrition regimen for 30 days. I'd love for you to work with me on potentially weaning off or weaning down on my meds. If you come in and just say, I want to get off my meds, we're like, you're crazy. But if you come in with documentation and you're showing me your blood pressures, evening out, your sugar levels are not as crazy high and low, we're gonna be like, what are you doing? And I just heard that story last week. I was in, again, Lutz, Florida, and a girl in the back of the room, she'd been on the products 3 weeks, and she said, my cholesterol just dropped 50 points in 3 weeks doing the core complete. She was, I don't know how Kristen is, maybe in her early 30s, late 20s, just had a baby. So I wasn't shocked. Everyone in the room was shocked, but I've been doing this 15 years. I know what happens. Get on that testimony page I told you about. Type in cholesterol, type in blood pressure, type in sugar levels. You'll see all the lab work that people have posted. We're not allowed to talk loudly on social media about people getting off prescription medications. It's just not allowed. You can question that for a moment. Why is it not allowed? And again, go back and read this book, The Truth About Cancer, and you'll understand why it's not allowed. So less than 10,000 people in America even know we exist because we talk person to person. I'm not blasting this all over social media. It's person to person. Somebody that I know invited you to this. So give back to the person who invited you. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And I hope that I get